कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी बद्दा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैत चंद जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा, जय अद्वैत चंद जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। Reading from Gantra Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Adi Leela, volume number 1. Chapter number 2, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This chapter explains that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself. Therefore, the Brahman effulgence is bodily luster of Lord Chaitanya, and the localized super soul situated in heart of every living entity is his partial representation. The Purusha avatars are also explained in this connection. Mahavishnu is the reservoir of all conditioned souls. But as confirmed in authoritative scriptures, Lord Krishna is the ultimate fountainhead, the source of numerous plenary expansions, including Narayana, who is generally accepted by Mayavadi philosophers to be the absolute truth. The Lord's manifestation of Prabhava and Vaibhava expansions, as well as partial incarnations and incarnations with delegated powers, are also explained. Of youth is his eternal form. The spiritual sky contains innumerable spiritual planets, the Vaikuntras, which are manifestations of Supreme Lord's internal energy. Innumerable material universes are similarly exhibited by his external energy, and the living entities are manifested by his marginal energy. Because Lord Krishna Chaitanya is non-different from Lord Krishna, he is the cause of all causes, there is no cause beyond him. He is the eternal and his form is spiritual. Lord Chaitanya is directly the Supreme Lord Krishna, as the evidence of authoritative scriptures proves. This chapter stresses that a devotee who wishes to advance in Krishna consciousness must have knowledge of Krishna's personal form, his three principal energies, his pastimes, and the relationship of the living entities with him. So here it is said that Krishna is Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you will see in more details about this. And it is mentioned that whoever wants to advance in Krishna consciousness must have knowledge of Krishna's eternal form, his three principal energies, his relationship with the living entities with us. So all this knowledge we should have. Text number 1. Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Balu api yat anugrahat Tarena nana mata graha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. I offer my obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusive truth, which is full of crocodiles of various theories. Purport: by the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even an inexperienced boy with no educational culture can be saved from the ocean of nescience, which is full of various types of philosophical doctrines that are like dangerous aquatic animals. The philosophy of Buddha, the argumentative presentation of the Gyanis, the yoga system of Patanjali's and Gautama, and the systems of philosophers like Kanada, Kapila, and Dattatreya are dangerous creatures in the ocean of nescience. By the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can have real understanding of essence of knowledge by avoiding these sectarian views and accepting the lotus feet of Krishna as the ultimate goal of life. Let us all worship Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his gracious mercy to the conditioned souls. अनंत अद्भुत ऐश्वर्यम श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु नीचो अपि यत् प्रसादात स्यात् भक्ति शास्त्र प्रवर्तक. See, it is said that just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, even most fallen person can become preacher of Bhakti Shastra. This is mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Called Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most magnanimous form of the Lord. Yesterday I was reading teachings of Lord Chaitanya. There it is mentioned that Lord Sri Krishna has very special quality, Susila, and he is Susila and Vadanya. Even Lord Narayana doesn't possess in the degree that Lord Krishna possesses these qualities. So he is most merciful and is very gentle. And these two qualities of Lord Krishna is fully manifested in his form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Rupa Goswami is praying, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine God Tuse Namaha. So he is most magnanimous form of the Lord and he is distributing love of Godhead, love of Krishna, Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. Is the essence of everything. Sara. This is to have love for Krishna. Devotees who have love for Krishna, actually Krishna belongs to them. We see that how your mother Yashoda is able to bind Krishna. And yesterday I was reading Krishna book. There it was mentioned that when these two Yamal Arjuna tree fell down and big noise came. So big noise, so huge noise came that all the Gopas assembled, including Nanda Maharaj and Upananda, and all the elderly Gopas, they rushed to the spot. And they are seeing this two huge trees have fell down and Krishna is there in between. So they immediately picked up Krishna and they were started discussing among themselves how these trees fell down, what happened, and they were not able to come to conclusion because there was no reason, there was no storm, nothing, and these trees were very strong and stout for a very long time they were standing, and all of a sudden both these two trees fell down, and they were not able to, and then they were thinking this is certainly a work of a demon, and they were talking like this. Say nearby there were children who were playing, they saw what happened. Then they said the same thing to all the Gopas. They said, no, we have seen this. Actually, Krishna was bound by Mother Yasoda in this mortar, and then after mother left, he pulled this mortar, and when he pulled this mortar, actually turned horizontally, and then Krishna was walking and he got stuck, this mortar got stuck between these two trees and Krishna just pulled and this both tree fell down. And when these two tree fell down, two very gorgeous effulgent personalities came out, and they were talking something to Krishna, and they went around Krishna and disappeared. Hmm? Many gopas, they just said all the boys to keep quiet. They did not believe this exoteric description of this what happened. But some of the gopas, they believed. They were so simple that even small boys, they saying this, they completely believed, and they went and told Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj, there is something very special in child Krishna. Hmm? And then others are saying, yes, there's so many things are happening only with Krishna. Then Putana came, she was also killed. Trinavata came, he was also killed. So whenever such disturbances are coming, Lord Narayana is actually saving Krishna. And then Nanda Maharaj was became very happy to hear uh, the special glories of his child. So he immediately took Lord Krishna, and then he handed it over to gopis, elderly gopis, and the gopis took Krishna to courtyard. In the courtyard, they started clapping their hands and started singing the glories of Krishna, because everybody was talking about Krishna. Even Nanda Baba was very happy. So there was a very special mood. All the gopis, they started clapping and started chanting the glories of Krishna, and Krishna also heard his glories, and while they are clapping, he started dancing. So Prabhupada is writing there that Krishna actually was like a play toy in the hands of gopis. They are clapping, and he is dancing and giving pleasure to them, to everybody. So this is what is pure love, and it is Krishna is even purchased with this pure love. This is the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. Like, yogis, they are trying to meditate for very long time, for many lifetimes. Gyanis, they are trying to mentally speculate for many lifetimes, but they have never reached Krishna. But Mother Yashoda, just she runs swiftly, and she catches Krishna. Not only she is able to catch Krishna, she is able to bind him. Krishna is the source of everything, absolute truth, and he is so easily approachable by Mother Yashoda because she has pure love for Krishna. So the love of Krishna is the essence of everything, and this love of Krishna is distributed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanya. It is said that whoever takes shelter of lotus feet of the Lord immediately become expert in all these Vedic understandings, essence of Sa. Vedascha sarvair ahameo vedyo vedant kit vedvid evachaham. So throughout the Vedic scriptures, the goal is to learn about Krishna, to know about Krishna, and that is automatically achieved without effort. कृष्णोत्कीर्तन गाननतन कालपात पथोजनी भ्राजिता सद्भक्तावली हंस चक्र मधुप श्रेणी विहाशापदम कर्णानंदी कल ध्वनिरवहतु मे जिह्वा मरु प्रांगणे श्री चैतन्य दयानिधे तव लशल लीला शुद्ध स्वरधुनि. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges water of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flower of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The rivers flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. Purport: our tongue always engage in vibrating useless sounds that do not help us realize transcendental peace. The tongue is compared to a desert because a desert needs a constant supply of refreshing water to make it fertile and fruitful. Water is the substance most needed in the desert. The transient pleasure derived from mundane topics of art, culture, politics, sociology, dry philosophy, poetry, and so on is compared to a mere drop of water, because although such topics have a qualitative feature of transcendental pleasure, they are saturated with the modes of material nature. Therefore, neither collectively nor individually can they satisfy the vast requirements of the dessert like tongue. Despite crying in various conferences, therefore, the dessert like tongue continues to be parched. For this reason, people from all parts of the world must call for the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who are compared to swans swimming around the beautiful lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or bees humming around his lotus feet in transcendental pleasure. Searching for honey, the dryness of material happiness cannot be moistened by so called philosophers who cry for Brahman, liberation, and similar dry speculative objects. The urge of the soul proper, the urge of the soul proper is different. The soul can be solaced only by the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his many bona fide devotees who never leave the lotus feet of Lord to become imitation Mahaprabhus. But all cling to his lotus feet like bees that never leave a honey soaked lotus flower. Lord Chaitanya's movement of Krishna consciousness is full of dancing and singing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It is compared herein to the pure waters of Ganges, which are full of lotus flowers. The enjoyers of these lotus flowers are the pure devotees, who are like bees and swans. They chant like flowing of the Ganges, the river of the celestial kingdom. The author desires such sweetly flowing waves to cover his tongue. He humbly compares himself to materialistic persons who always engage in dry talk, from which they derive no satisfaction. If they were to use their dry tongues to chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as exemplified by Lord Chaitanya, they would taste sweet nectar and enjoy life. I was studying teachings of Lord Chaitanya yesterday. It was described that Lord Chaitanya, during his visit to Varanasi, he has met with Prakasananda Saraswati, and he has inspired him and his all followers to accept Vaishnava philosophy. And this news has spread around all over India that Prakasananda Saraswati and his disciples, they have changed. Now they have changed and they started following Lord Chaitanya. So many people are coming to see Lord Chaitanya. And all of them, they cannot come and meet Lord Chaitanya personally, but they have come to see Lord. Lord Chaitanya will regularly go from Vishwanath Mandir to Bandhu Madhav temple. And on the way, all these people, thousands and thousands of people, they will stand in queue just to see Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya will go along with his followers, along with his Sankirtan team, and all they will chant. And Lord Chaitanya will very sweetly, he will also sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Gaye Gaura Madhur Sware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Lord Chaitanya will raise his hand and he will dance. It is described there that so nicely mridangas and every instruments will play, and all these people who are seeing, they will also join this, and they'll make tumultuous noise sound, Hari Bol, like this whole atmosphere was surcharged with the holy name. And the kirtan will start picking up and pick up, and people will jump and dance. They will jump as high as possible. Everybody is completely immersed in Harinam Sankirtan, and this sound will be so high. They describe that like this. So many people who were doing Sankirtana, and one day it was so much so much ecstasy was flowing that Prakasananda Saraswati, who was sitting nearby, Hmm? Prakashananda Saraswati was the head of Mayavada philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya has already given his mercy. Uh, he just got up from his seat, and stopped all his dry mental speculation and just came, dividing the crowd, hmm, removing the crowd, and he went and straight fell down at lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, catching hold of lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. In fact, when Lord Chaitanya, when he came, along with him, his disciples also came. He had 60,000 sannyasi disciples. And Lord Chaitanya saw the presence of disciples of Mayavadis, then he, tried to uh, low down his ecstasy, the display of his ecstatic symptoms, because they used to always criticize him that you are a sentimental person and simply chanting and dancing. So he just tried to control himself, and then he was actually reducing his sankirtan. And Prakashananda Saraswati was noticing this, and he came and fell down at lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya immediately started saying, uh, uh, my dear Prakashananda Saraswati, for you there is no difference. Means he is a propender of Advaita philosophy. Hmm? In you there is a lack of Dvaita bhava. But for lok siksha, you should not fall to, you should not do this. It's very sweetly Lord Chaitanya is telling. Then Prakashananda Saraswati is telling this. Uh, uh, you I am falling at your lotus feet because I have heard that one day Nanda Baba was swallowed by a serpent, and Nanda Baba called for Krishna, and Krishna came, and his feet was touched to the serpent, and he got liberated. Hmm? So I am touching your lotus feet, to liberate myself, because he is thinking that I have this enviousness and envy like a serpent for Lord Krishna, and I am so much that I always decline the form of the Lord. So my enviousness only can be purified when Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, I'll get shelter of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, you should not compare uh, Lord Krishna with an ordinary human being. Then Prakasana Saraswati is telling that uh, even a person commits offenses at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, even if he is liberated, he falls down. So like this, there is a sweet discussion between Prakashananda Saraswati and Lord Chaitanya. So these all pastimes of the Lord are so melodious, so pleasing to the heart. So whoever hears this gets purified. It is by song is sung by Narottam Das Thakur at गौरांगेर मधुर लीला जार करने प्रवेशिला निर्मल भेलो हृदय निर्मल भेलो तार. So this, whoever hears this sweet pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart immediately becomes very pure. It is described that it becomes so pure, that all the special birds, special animals who stay only in clean water, they all crowd there. Mention this that. Yes. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges water of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The river's flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. This uh, sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is said that uh, uh, that material subject matters, are all attract like people like crow, they are attracted to these subject matters, but people like swan, they don't go nearby. यद वचस चित्र पदम हरेर यशो जगत पवित्रम पगनीच कर्चित वायस तीर्थम उसंति मानसा न यत्र हमसा निर्मंति उशिक्षया. So uh, uh, where there is no glories of the Lord, the glories of the Lord which purifies the all three worlds is not sung. That may be the picnic spot for crow-like people, but people who are truly truthful, they are like swan, and they don't come nearby to those places. We see that where the Krishna's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories are sung, the swan-like devotees, they crowd in such places. And just by hearing these glories of Lord Chaitanya, their ears becomes filled with joy, their heart becomes filled with joy. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा. All glories to Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Sri Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra and all glories to devotees of Lord Gauranga. तृतीय श्लोकेर अर्थ करी विवरण वस्तु निर्देश रूप मंगलाचरण. Let me describe the meaning of the third verse of the first 14. It is an auspicious vibration that describes absolute truth. यत् अद्वैतं ब्रह्मोपनिषादि तद अपि अस्य तनुभाव या आत्मन्तर्यामी पुरुष इति सा अस्यां स विभव सत ऐश्वर्य पूर्णो यह इह भगवान स स्वयं अयम न चैतन्यात् कृष्णास जगति परतत्वम परमिह. What the Upanishad describes as an impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord Krishna as the super soul is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna himself, full with six opulences. He is absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him. Impersonal Brahman, the localized Paramatma, and the personality of Godhead are three subjects and glowing effulgence, the partial manifestation of the original form, are their three respective predicates. A predicate always follows its subject. Now I shall explain the meaning of this verse according to the revealed scriptures. Krishna, the original form of the personality of Godhead, is the summum bonum of all pervading Vishnu. He is all perfect knowledge and all perfect bliss. He is the supreme transcendence. He whom Srimad Bhagavatam describes as son of Nanda, Nanda Maharaj, has descended to earth as Lord Chaitanya. In terms of his various manifestations, he is known in three features, called impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and original personality of Godhead. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma and the personality of Godhead. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti sabhyate. तानरा अंगेरा शुद्ध किरण मंडल उपनिषद कहे तानरे ब्रह्म सुनिर्मल. What is the Upanishads called the transcendental impersonal Brahman is realm of glowing effulgence of the same supreme person. The three mantras of Mukund Upanishad gives information regarding bodily effulgence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They state, Hiranmaye para kose virajam brahma niskalam tas saubhram ज्योतिषां ज्योतिस्तद्यद् आत्मविदो विदुः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युत भान्ति कुतो अयम् अग्निः तम एव भातम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भास्य सर्वम् इदं विभाति. In the spiritual realm, beyond the material covering is unlimited Brahman effulgence, which is free from material contamination. That effulgent white light is understood by transcendentalists to be the light of all lights. In that realm, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity for illumination. Indeed, whatever illuminates appears in the material world is only a reflection of that supreme illumination. That Brahman is in front and in back, in the north, south, east, and west, and also overhead and below. In other words, that supreme Brahman effulgence is spread throughout both material and spiritual skies. शर्म चक्षे देखे या यैची सूर्य निर्विशेष ज्ञान मार्गे लैते नारे कृष्णेर विशेष. As with the naked eye, one cannot know the sun except as glowing substance. Merely by philosophical speculations, one cannot understand Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. So Prabhupada is explaining in 6th canto that people perform sinful activities and they are sent to hell and they are suffering there. So before their life is over, if they don't perform suitable atonement, their punishment is very severe. So people perform so many karma kanda, so that if they have done some sinful activities, it can be reduced, or they perform karma kanda to enjoy further. So there are so many karma kandas, and these people who are following karma kandas are very pious. They are very pious and religious. But while performing karma kanda, also they are prone to perform sinful activities, which will take them to hellish planets, because they are subjected to tamoguna, rajoguna, and satoguna. They are mostly subjected to base qualities. It is mentioned there, rajoguna and tamoguna. So actually they proceed towards hellish punishments. Better than karma kanda is jnana marga, where the person is done with all karma kanda activities. Now he sit down and speculate to understand the absolute truth. So it is said, while doing karma kanda or jnana marga, they are being purified. By Jnana Marga also they are being purified. But unlike Karma Kanda, Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Prahlad Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Patit Pawan Prabhupada ki jai. Unlike Karma Kanda, where they also uh, tends to do some sinful activities, in Jnana Marga they don't do any sinful activities. So they are free from going to hell. So it is better. Jnana Marga is better. But the problem with the Gyan Marga is, just by doing mental speculation, then mostly people conclude they are the same Brahman, or they try to merge into that Brahman, or try to identify themselves with absolute truth. So this is a kind of spiritual suicide. So this is the problem with Gyan Marga. So the best thing is to perform, to chant the holy name of the Lord. That is the real atonement. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one becomes free from the tendency to commit sinful activities anymore. It was described there. So yeah, and it is said that all Brahman effulgence, which is present everywhere in spiritual world and in material world. Material world, how it is present? It describes that all the luminaries they are all actually reflecting the Brahman effulgence. The sunlight is but the reflection of the Brahman effulgence. So Brahman is pervaded all over in spiritual and material world. कोटि कोटि ब्रह्मांडे ये ब्रह्मेर विभूति से ब्रह्म गोविंदेर हय अंग कांति. Lord Brahma said, the opulence of impersonal Brahman is spread toward the millions and millions of universes. That Brahman is but the bodily effulgence of Govinda. So we can see one sun is there and the sun illuminates the whole universe. One sun is illuminating the whole universe. There are so many planets, so many stars are there. They are all being illuminated by presence of one sun. In our uh, situation, we see we want to illuminate one hall, we need so many bulbs and so much effort. But there is one sun which is illuminating the whole universe. So similarly, there is one Supreme Lord. From him, his bodily lusters, the entire creation, spiritual and material, is illuminated. Like one sun is illuminating this universe, similarly, the one Supreme Lord illuminates everything, all spiritual and material world. से गोविंद गोविंद भजी आमी तेहो मोर पति तान्हार प्रसादे मोर हय सृष्टि शक्ति. I worship Govinda. He is my Lord. Only by His grace am I empowered to create this universe. Said Lord Brahma is saying this. Although the sun is situated far away from the other planets, its rays sustains and maintains them all. Indeed, the sun diffuses its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Sun, Govinda, diffuses his heat and light everywhere in the form of his different potencies. The sun's heat and light are non-different from the sun. In the same way, the unlimited potencies of Govinda are non-different from Govinda himself. Therefore, the all-pervasive Brahman is all-pervasive Govinda. The Brahman, the Bhagavad Gita 14.27 clearly mentions that impersonal Brahman is dependent upon Govinda. That is the real conception of absolute knowledge. Brahman hi pratishtaham. Krishna is telling that he is the basis of the Brahman. So, as soon as we see energy, immediately we relate with the energetic. Whom does this belong? We cannot be without connecting with the possessor. So here we see the Brahman effulgence. Immediately we will see that this is coming from the Lord. So in this way the Lord is pervading all over, all the places. Saying that in this same way, the unlimited potencies of Govinda are non-different from Govinda himself. The Lord, all the energies of the Lord are under his full control. Wherever he likes, he can make darkness, and wherever he likes, he can make illumination. His energies are under his full control. Paramishwara, Iswara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karanam. So because all his energies are under his full control, so as soon as we connect with or come in contact with any of the energies of the Lord, it is as good as connecting with Krishna. Because they are under his full control. मुनयो वात वासनाः श्रमना ऊर्ध्व मंथिनः Brahmakyam dhama te yanti santa sannyasino amala. Naked saints and sannyasis who undergo severe physical penances, who can raise the cement to the brain, and who are completely equipoised in Brahman, can live in the realm known as Brahmaloka. He who is described in the Yoga Shastra as the indwelling Supreme Soul, Atma Antaryami, is also a plenary portion of Govinda's personal expansion. As the one sun as one sun appears reflected in countless jewels, so Govinda manifests himself as Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. The sun is situated in a specific location but is reflected in countless jewels and appears in innumerable localized aspects. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although eternally present in transcendental abode Golok Vrindavan, is reflected in everyone's heart as the Super Soul. So we see this earlier the Mughals uh, in their walls gems were uh, bedecked. So it was like a bulb. Hmm? There was no need of separate bulb. These jewels will itself illuminate the whole thing. Hmm? So how these jewels they are illuminating? So they have got a special property. When the sunlight falls on them, actually the sunlight gets trapped inside that jewel. It is the crystal is like that. Hmm? And uh, after some time this sunlight will be diffused from these jewels, so this will illuminate. So this the analogy is given here that as sun uh, the as one sun appears reflected in countless jewels. Hmm? So it's all acting like a independent source of light, all these jewels. Hmm? As one sun appears reflected in countless jewels, so Govinda manifests himself as Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. So if this property is displayed even by sun, so what is great difficulty if the Lord is able to uh, expand himself in countless Paramatma without being undivided. Like sun is situated in his place, but it is reflected in all these jewels, countless jewels. So similarly, the Lord is situated in one place, but by his Achintya Sakti, inconceivable potency, he is present as a super soul in each and every atom and in each and every living entity's heart. So this is a Chintya Sakti of the Lord, but can be realized by seeing the analogy of a sun and this countless gems. Gantha